Hello everyone, welcome to Networker Stream. Uh, so today I would like to continue the session, whatever we have left yesterday. And this session is going to be long and I am getting somewhat deeper into the Linux basics and all. So yesterday we have seen how to create directory and how to create an empty file. And today I am going to discuss about why it is secured. Just I will give little information today now, and we are going to discuss more deeper sometime later. So Linux is secured. Linux is secured. Why? Because it has a file permissions, and those permissions are very strong. You know, so those permissions are very strong. Okay, those permissions are very strong, and we can set permissions at user level, group level, and other levels. So once you create any file, for suppose if you put touch file 1.txt, by default your other members so it is not possible someone else to edit until unless you give the permission to them. So the thing is how it works we will see when we talk little deeper in the permission topic. So this is kind of one point. So this is the fourth point I would say. So yesterday the first one was it is a freeware, and the second point was and the source code is open, and the third point was it is a multi-user operating system. That's what we have seen yesterday. Also we have seen you know we have seen how to create a folder or directory or file with the help of CLI or GUI. And also we have seen yesterday like how to create directory and how to create a file. And the other thing is, and it is very secured in the sense how you can set your own permissions for any user. So if you would like to execute like you created one file 1.txt, and there are three things here. One will be read-only access or write access or executable access. You can give the permissions to each and everyone. For suppose you have a user, you have a group, and that you have a project. Okay, you consider as a group. So in that project you have multiple things. One guy would take care of OS, one guy would take care of some application, and one guy will be user. Okay, so OS administrator and application administrator sometimes require both read and write access. And even if a file is executable, sometimes they need executable permission also. But whereas user doesn't need either some files he needs only executable access. Sometimes he need both read write. For some files he need read write or executable access, or few files you are not allowing any user to either modify or execute that file. Why? Because this is all infrastructure related thing. So in that case you can able to restrict your users. Okay, and actually actually Linux is having multiple flavors. For suppose for example, Ubuntu is a kind of flavor, and Red Hat, Solaris, and etc. There are too many. There are too many flavors are there. I will give you the list. What are the flavors are, and Unix is an open source. Anyone can customize using the source code of Unix. So CentOS is there, Fedora is there, and OpenSolaris, Kali Linux, SUSE. So these are all flavors of the Linux. Okay. Now now uh, so actually, what are the components? What are the components of Unix or Linux? Whatever it may be, Unix or Linux, whatever. Okay. So there are actually two types of components we have. Two components we have for in Unix or Linux, whatever it may be. One is a shell. One is a shell. The second one is kernel. The second one is kernel. Okay. What is a shell? Shell means it is outer layer of outer layer of an operating system. Outer layer of an operating system. So for suppose user types some command, right? So whenever user types a command on terminal, say for suppose touch, like if you say file1.txt, if you enter this command touch file1.txt, what it will do, once you enter that command, shell is responsible to read this command. That means shell receives this command. So first shell receives this command and it will check whether this command is valid or not. First it will check whether this command is valid or not. Then shell will check whether this command shell will check whether command is properly used or not. Okay, you entered correct syntax, but have you used the command in the proper way? Have you used it in the proper way or not? It will just check. So shell has a responsibility to check whether you use properly or not. If everything is proper, that means your command is valid, syntax is good, and you properly used it. And if everything is proper, then it converts this command into kernel understandable form and handed it over to kernel. Okay, if everything is proper, so you used it correctly and its syntax is valid, then then this command into it will convert that command into kernel understandable form and handed it over to kernel. Okay, so what is that mean? Okay, might be you remember in your engineering or during your project times you do C projects. Sometimes you do C projects, or I remember only C projects. Okay, so on that time, if you have to compile the code, if you compile the code, it will check is there any errors. That means to say, is the syntax is correct or not. These are the things it will check, right? If the syntax is not proper and you didn't use it properly, then it will throw you an error. So the same way for the Linux, shell is an interpreter kind of thing. So if this command is used properly, then it will interprets that one into kernel understandable form and handed it over to kernel. Okay, so what is this? What is kernel and what is shell? Okay, let me let me tell you something here. Let me draw something here. This is your hardware, think, and you have a user connected to the OS. So you cannot directly how you communicate to hardware with the help of OS, right? So what happens? So shell has an interpreter. So OS is having two things, correct? What I told you, it has two things. One is shell and one is kernel. one is shell and one is kernel, KERNEL. So that means, so this is shell. So if you think this is OS, that means it has two things, one is shell and one is kernel. Okay, now actually kernel, what it will do, it will simply executes that command and perform required activity. So for suppose this shell is an interface between your user and the kernel, so you cannot directly contact with kernel, so you can contact to shell. Shell interprets that one and it will send it to kernel, and kernel acts as interprets between acts as interface between shell and the hardware. Okay, that's how it is. I think it's not understandable. 1 minute. Let me put it in a proper way so that you can understand what. Okay. So this is the user, and this guy is connected to OS. OS will have two things. One is shell and one is kernel, and which is get connected to the hardware. This is hardware. So your user will get user communicates to shell, and shell is going to, if everything is proper, and then it will communicates to kernel, and the kernel will be communicates to your hardware, and again hardware will reply to the kernel, and kernel again will give it back to this guy, and it will throw you the output on your screen or terminal. So this is the phase. Okay, because you cannot contact directly to hardware, right? Why? Because it has to be something. If you want to speak to hardware, that is, you need some medium. That medium is nothing but your OS. Again, this OS is having two things, one is shell and one is kernel. So you have to speak with the, or you have to put some commands in the shell, and shell interprets and it will check all the things what it has to check, and once everything is proper, then it will interpret that to kernel. Kernel will give signals to the hardware, and hardware again give those signals back to reply back to kernel. Again kernel sends to shell, and shell give you the output on your terminal. That's how it is. Okay, let me see, okay, so now for suppose, so how it is, you have this diagram, right? So there are some layers. Think this is a hardware. If this is the hardware, the outer layer will be kernel, and this is the shell, and this is the user application. Okay, so this is how you can interpret between from user to the hardware. Okay, that means so that's why it's called outer layer of this is the outer layer of OS on terminal, and and after that shell will get interprets and send it to kernel, and after that it will come back to hardware. Hardware again give that reply to kernel. Kernel will give it to shell. Shell will display the output to the user, which has been understandable by the user. Okay, now kernel is core component of OS. Kernel is core component of OS. Memory allocation, processor allocation, everything is taken care by kernel only. Okay, so this is the thing. It is pretty core component. Why? Because this has been interprets between your shell and it's like a mediator between your shell and your hardware. Okay, so let me explain you few things here. So basic commands we will see. Basic commands. Okay, what are the basic commands? first, why it is pretty secure, like there will be two level of authentication. So first level will be credentials must be required. For suppose if you would like to log into any operating system, you need what you need credentials are nothing but here I have two users, one is admin and one is user, and I have to log into my Ubuntu system. So this is one thing, this is one level of authentication, and the second level will be the file permissions. So if I create any file that has to I have to give a permission. Being a administrator, I have to give a permission to the users. That's how it is. Okay, let's see basic commands. Let's see basic commands how it will be. Okay, so first one will be pwd. First one will be what? pwd. Pwd, what did I say? It is a present working directory. pwd is present working directory. At any time, if you would like to see where are you, on on which folder you are in. So if you would like to see that, you need uh, okay, let me zoom in so that you can see my screen. Zoom in. Yeah, I think it will be more clear for you. So once I logged in, once you open the terminal, then you need to find out where you are. So first, suppose in the GUI, if you are in the desktop, automatically you will come to know you are in the desktop. First, suppose if you would like to move to some other directory, yes, you can do it with the help of just go to here. So your directory may open, then you can see, yeah, I'm in directory, I'm in documents, so that you would come to know. So but if you are in the terminal and you'd never come to know where you are. So that's why you need a command. You have a command called pwd. When in this time, if any time, if you would like to see where you are, what is your current directory, where I am in, so on that case, on that time, you need a command called you need one command to see, which is pwd. uh, okay, this is pwd means where you are in, on which directory you are in. So that means okay, so okay, what is your current, if you would like to see where are you, or what is your directory you are currently in, then you have a command which is pwd. Okay, for suppose cd desktop, that means you are in the desktop directory. Then if you would like to see where are you, so just you put pwd and you can see your current working directory. Okay, so the next command I would like to discuss about is else. It is very common thing. This is nothing but list. So ls means list all files and directories. It lists out all files and directories. For suppose you would like to see what are all the files or folders in the desktop. So you have a command. Just you would like to see what are all these. You know what are the directories or files under on desktop. If you would like to see from the terminal perspective, you have a command called ls. So as of now on your desktop, there are no directories or files has been created. So it won't show anything, but as of now I am in /home/admin directory. So whatever the files are there or directories are there, you can see that there are multiple files and directories has been created over here. Okay, so it lists out each and every directory or file under the directory, it will show you. Okay, so that is nothing but your ls command. And the other one, yesterday we have discussed about, third command is mkdir. Mkdir is used to create a directory. It is used to create a directory. So yesterday we have seen, right? So I am in where /home/admin. Okay, let me clear my screen and let me get into my desktop. Okay, my desktop, I would like to create one directory. So my my directory name would be uh, mm, Ruby 1. Ruby 1. Ruby 1 is a directory which I have created on my desktop. So if I put ls here, so then you can see Ruby 1 is the directory, only directory present on the desktop. When you put a list command ls, so you can see only one directory it will show. Why? Because only one directory has been created. That is nothing but your mkdir. Okay, now I would like to show you one more command, which is fourth one, cd. From yesterday I've been using cd dot dot or cd or cd some file name or directory name, cd some directory name I am typing, right? You might have doubt what exactly this cd is. Cd is nothing but change directory. Change directory. For suppose if you would like to go from one directory to another directory, for suppose pwd, I am in /home/admin/desktop. So what are all the directories of files on desktop? Only one directory is there, which is ruby 1. So if I would like to get into ruby 1, my command would be change directory, which is cd, and ruby 1 is the directory. So once you put it, automatically you get into ruby 1 directory. So if you put ls here, yes, there are no files or directories under this ruby 1. So that's why it won't show you anything. Okay, it won't show you anything. So you have another command called cd dot dot, that means parent directory of ruby 1. So uh, I have created this ruby 1 folder on desktop. uh, what it means is tree. Okay, so I will show you later this one. Okay, yeah, so you created ruby 1 folder on desktop. So that means your parent folder of ruby 1 is desktop. So that's why when you put cd dot dot, that means go to my parent directory. So when you are on the desktop, what is your parent directory of your desktop? So it would be your /home/admin. Okay, so that is the parent directory of your desktop. So for suppose if I put cd dot dot here, where could I go? I am I went to /home directory. That means the admin is a directory which has been created on home directory. Okay, so home is a main folder, I mean main directory. There under home directory I have created admin directory. Under admin directory I have desktop directory. On again desktop directory I have created ruby 1 directory. So for the ruby 1, the parent will be my desktop. For the desktop, for the desktop directory, parent directory of my desktop would be /home/admin. And on the if I am in admin directory, and parent directory of admin directory would be /home. Okay, that is nothing but your cd dot dot. Okay, and one more command I would like to discuss here. We have already seen yesterday, but touch command is used to create an empty file. Yeah. uh, yes, I'll go little deeper. Let me give you brief about all the comments, then I'll do it. Okay, just comment just comment in the comment box. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so touch command yesterday you have already seen it. Okay, cd. Okay, touch command you already seen it yesterday, because right now you are in your parent directory. Okay, so if you put cd, nothing, If you put only cd, that means you go into your parent directory, which is your base directory, your user directory, which is /home/ your username. So I have connected with admin user, so that's why I have get into my /home/admin. Okay, so touch means, okay, let me go to desktop, change my directory to desktop directory, and let me create one file, touch file1.txt. So once you put that, automatically file1 got created, file1 got created. So that is nothing but your touch command. And yeah, so every time we are creating files, but what is the command to remove a directory? So rm is the command to rm is the okay, what is the command to remove a directory? Rm means remove. If you would like to remove a file or directory, you have to you have a command called rm. So but you have another command which is rmdir. So if you would like to delete any directory, then you have a command called rmdir, but this is only used for empty directories. This is only used for empty directories. Okay, what is this mean? Okay, so right now I am in my desktop directory. Okay, let me create mkdir ruby 2. Okay, once I enter this command, ruby 2 is automatically get created. Okay, ruby 2 is automatically get created. Now ruby 1, ruby 2, file 1, there are 3 files are there on desktop. So file1.txt is an empty file, ruby 1 is an empty directory, ruby 2 is a empty directory. Okay, so let's go into ruby 1 and just touch one file, file2.txt. okay, file2.txt. let me clear ls. So I am in ruby 1 directory and I have created file2.txt. now if you would like to go to your parent directory, then the command would be cd dot dot. So you are on the desktop directory. So rmdir ruby 2. So once you done that, automatically ruby 2 has been removed from the desktop. ruby 2 has been removed from the desktop. That's what it is saying, right? rmdir, any directory name, it will remove. It will remove the directory. But if you ruby 1 is also a directory, right? So let me see whether this command removes that one or not. ruby 1. So fail it to remove. What it is what it is saying? It is saying fail to remove ruby 1. Why? The reason will be directory is not empty. So if the directory is not empty, you cannot use this rmdir command. You cannot use rmdir command. Okay. Okay. So now let us see why it is not removing rmdir ruby 1. So rmdir ruby 1. So directory is not empty, so that's why it is failed to remove ruby 1. So what is the command to remove non-empty directory? So just put rm space for suppose if you rm space -r. If you want to remove any directory, just what is the option you have to take rm -r ruby 1. Once you done that, you can remove the directory successfully. So that's how it is. So if you would like to remove a file, simple, the command will be rm file1.txt. so rm is the command to remove either remove either a file or a directory. If you would like to remove a directory, just you need to add hyphen or, that's it. Okay, you need to add hyphen or option. Okay. Okay, the other one will be cal. What is the cal? Cal is to display. Cal is to display current month calendar. Current month calendar. So just you could, if you want to see current month calendar, so the option will be just your command will be cal. Okay, and yeah, just I'll give you the option somewhat later, but let's see what are all the commands. The other command will be, if you would like to see date and time and all, you have a command called date. So you have a date, so it will show you week, month, date, your time in IST format. 2020 is the year. Okay, so and you have one more command called help. You have one more command called help. This is the command to display list of the commands. To display list of commands. So if you have any doubt or something, just at any time you need to put help, so that you can see list of commands. See, pwd is there, and you have multiple things, history and alias, and till now we have seen pwd and cd, and you see rm somewhere here. I think you don't see that one. And yeah, these are the things, exit. If you want to exit from the terminal, you have this one, and if you want to echo something, print something, you have echo command. So like that, and okay, so okay, now okay, now you have another command. Which is hello. It will display brief system information. So if you want to see information, so just you have a command called hello. Okay, what it is saying, there is some hello not found, but you can be installed. It can be installed. So the command will be sudo apt install hello. That means sometimes some few things you might need to install. So yeah, just you need to install few of the packages. Just give us few minutes. Let me pause the recording. Okay, what it is saying, 1 minute. It is saying cannot initiate the connection in ubuntu.com. Network is unreachable. Okay, my network is unreachable to the internet, so that's why it may be the problem. 1 minute, uh, let me fix this. Let me see. I can able to reach ping 8.8.8.8. Now I can able to sorry, now I can able to reach internet. So again we'll do what's happening. So it is connecting to archive.ubuntu.com. It has to download. Let me, okay, you see here it is unpacking hello and setting up hellos and all. Now it is installed. Now this package has been installed. Now if you see hello, means it is showing hello world. Okay, for this Ubuntu, actually normally hello was the command to display brief system information, but I don't know the package. What we have installed, it is showing this output, but anyway, so let's see. We have another command to get those details and all. So you have a command called uname. You have a command called uname. It will display you the kernel information, I mean kernel name information. Okay, so the kernel name is Linux. So uname, it will returns the kernel name. So you have one more option for this uname, hyphen s. Hyphen s, again it will give you the same output. It will also show you the same kernel name output. And for suppose you want to see what version what release we are using, so you have a command called uname hyphen r. So if if you see this, you can see the release of this Unix. I am using 5.3.0-45 generic release. I am using on my Ubuntu VM. And you have if you want to see the version, you have another option called V. So it will show you the version. It will show you the version of your Linux kernel. And for suppose if you want to see host name, what is the host name? So here user hyphen virtual machine. So uname host name is hyphen n, I guess. Yeah, user hyphen virtual machine. So the host name is nothing but this one, whatever you put. I mean, while installing your VM, you use some information, right? So that is your host name. For suppose you are a network engineer, so you have some switches, right? So switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, normally you give host name, that one. So that is nothing but your host. For suppose you have 100 switches, how can you identify those 100 switches? With the help of host names. So the same way, if you have 100 Linux machines, how can you identify each Linux machine? With the help of host name. So here here it is only one it's only one machine, so that's why just I made it generic, which is user hyphen virtual machine. So first, and okay, you have one more thing, which is uname hyphen node name. Uname hyphen uh, not this one, I guess. Hyphen node name. Yeah, it will also displays the same same output, like like the last command hyphen n. So node name is also same for these Linux machines. But whereas in case of non-Linux operating systems, the node name and host name may be different. Okay, so for suppose, okay, it is fine. Normally in Windows we do what we ask normally. We will ask whether it is a 32-bit or 64-bit. So if you would like to see whether my Linux is 32-bit or 64-bit, you have an option called -m. So that it can display the output whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit. Okay, if you want to see the processor, okay, these are the things, right? Normally you see when you buy anything. So what is the processor type? The option will be -p. So again the processor is 64-bit. Okay, so if you want to see the information of your operating system, your option would be -o hyphen -o, sorry, -o. So this is Linux operating system information. And if you want to find system information, whole system information, you have an option called -a. So it will give you everything, whatever we have seen till now. It will display everything, and your kernel name is Linux, and your host name is this one, and it is this release, and node name, and whether it is 32 bit or 64 bit, and what is the release and what is the version and all, and it will show you whether it is 62 64 bit or 32 bit, and finally it will show you the OS information. Okay, it will give you a brief whatever we have, uh, so this will give you at a time. For suppose you don't want to use that many commands to look into everything, right? On that time you can use -a option. Okay, so yeah, so if you want to see hardware information like CPU, disks and all, so you have a command like sudo, you have lshw. Okay, so if you want to see that, if you want to uh, do any sudo commands, you need a admin permission, so it will ask you for it, then it will give you complete hardware information. It will give you complete CPU, disks and all. So if you want to see the summary of just in a this is somewhat big out, right? If you want to see somewhat short output, you have a command called lshw hyphen short. It just give you the normal information. See, I could not able to scroll up and all, right? But here you can see system, computer, and you have bus class, hardware path is /0, because all this is like it's a VMware and it's a VM, so that's why it is giving all virtual things. Motherboard, memory is 1958 MB system memory, and my processor is Intel one, and I have multiple interfaces here, ENS33 and ENS38. These are the two interfaces on two Unix has been configured on, and rest of the things are bridge. Bridge means actually the VMware perspective there are 3 to 4 types. One is bridge, and if it is local LAN, there are options you can able to select. So here it is, I'll show you. Here if you see here, right, bridge, NAT, host only, custom. So now mine is NAT, so it will use the same IP address as host, which is there in that in this VMware. Okay, so that's why it is. And if you want to see the CPU information, you have a command called lscpu. So it will give you the CPU information, 64-bit, and CPU operational modes, either you can 32-bit or 64-bit. Whole all this is like CPU information, whatever you need. And for suppose if you want to see the storage information and all, you have a command called ls blk. You can see what type, what mount type and all. You can able to see everything, like here how much is the size, for suppose any hard disk connected to it, how much it is. So you can able to see all this output. Okay, so that's it. So you have one more option called lsblk-a. so it will show you exactly the same, but some detailed info you have. So you can see some detailed info here. That's it. For suppose if you have any USB connected, so if you would like to see what is the what USBs are connected, you have command called ls USB. You can see you can see here what other devices are get connected here. So for suppose here some two things it has been connected to this. One is Linux Foundation and VMware. Actually all this is like VMware stuff. Mouse has been, I already told you, right? Everything is a file kind of thing, you know, mouse is connected and USB, virtual USB is connected, because this is my hard disk actually. This is my hard disk, you know. So all this information, if you want detailed information, LSU USB hyphen B, you can see some detailed information. Okay, you can see, which mostly administrators, or if you get into deeper, so those only have to you know about all these. Okay, now you have you understood, right? What are all the things, if you would like to see the hardware information, what are all the commands, you know all these with the help of unames and all. We have seen multiple options for it as well. So you tell me, what is uname? Uname will returns the kernel name. Uname will, it returns what? Kernel name. And it has multiple options. Uname hyphen s, you know, this is also will give host name, host, you know, kernel name. And one more is hyphen r, release version, I mean release of any Linux. And hyphen v, it will show you the version of it. And hyphen n, it will show you the host name. And hyphen node name, it will give you the node name. You know, as I told you, node name and host name might be different in non-Linux operating system. And if you would like to see the processor thing, you have a command which is uname hyphen m. And if you would like to processor information, hyphen p. And if you want to see operating system information, if you have hyphen o. And uname hyphen a, it is nothing but it's complete list of system information. And if you would like to see your hardware information, you have a command called sudo lshw. If you have admin access, then you can able to see this output. If you don't, you cannot able to do it. And lshw, it will give you the summary of your output, what you got in last command. And if you want to use the CPU, see the CPU information, you have a command called lscpu. And if you want to see you know, hard disk information and all, or storage and partitions and all, you have a command called lsblk. And you want detailed information, you have a command called lsblk-a. And whatever the, for suppose any device is connected to it, like your USB and all, you have a command called lsusb. And you want much detailed output, you have a command called lsusb hyphen v. It will give you the detailed information about that. Okay, till now these are the commands we have seen. Now let's see. Now okay, so clear, one sec. Okay, so you have you have too many things on your screen, like for suppose ls, cd, and pwd. And you have one big output like like yes, hw. And see, your screen is somewhat messy, right? So you don't know what to you know, how to clear. So you have a command called clear. Once you clear it, your you know, screen will get cleared. Okay, that is the command. And one more thing is exit. clear, and exit. Exit is nothing but exit from the terminal. Okay. Okay, actually, if you get into any interview, they will ask you what is the difference between RM and RMDIR command. If you go to any interview, they will ask you. This is the basic question they will ask normally. So RM is nothing. So just they will ask you only one thing, like what is the difference between RM versus RMDIR. So just you need to say only one thing. RMDIR is used to remove only empty directories, whereas RM is to remove both files and directories, even the directory is not empty. Okay, directory is not empty. Okay, let's see I know this is somewhat big session, but you have to mm, please concentrate on this. Just take few minutes break, and then we will come back. Okay, so I think you have seen the long list of commands what we have seen till now. If you see here, we have long list of commands we have seen. These are all basic things. These are all the things normally if you are in Linux administration job, you can able to some other mostly you use it. I mean, you use it in your daily life. Okay, so till now normally so when you get into this, if you see ls, you have too many things, and if you have pwd, I am speaking a lot with /home/admin, and what is parent directory and all. So but you might have little confused about all these things, so that's why I would like to discuss file systems. I would like to discuss file system in Linux. File system in Linux. Okay. So what is a file system in Linux? So Linux file system follows tree-like structure. Linux uh, file system uses tree-like structure. Okay, so you have to first you need to know what exactly there in the Linux file system. Okay, so let me see. Okay, always we talk about this one. What is this? This is nothing but, see, if you see here also, slash, what is this slash? What is this slash? This slash is nothing but your root. This is your root. From here your file system starts. This is your root directory. This is your root directory. Okay, from this root directory you have multiple files. What are all the files we have under root? We have bin, we have sbin, okay, you have all these. So under the root folder you have bin directory, sbin directory, etc, lib, home, root, dev, usr, temp, var, var. So these are all the directories we have. Under home directory, again, for suppose you have multiple users, right? It is a multitask operating system, so multiple users can log in. So if you put one user, for suppose you have three users can log into this. So you have Pawan, you have Kalyan, and one more thing, you have admin. So three users are there. So just put, so if you have three users, so obviously Pawan, Kalyan and admin. Okay, so what is this mean actually? Let's go and okay, here I am. So ls pwd, I am in slash home slash directory. Okay, now I am in slash home slash admin. So let me go to root directory, cd hash ls, cd ls, okay, pwd. Where I am now? I am in root directory. Okay, slash means root, slash means root. Okay, I am in slash directory ls. So if you see here, what are all the things are there? ls, under root directory we have bin, we have cd-rom, we have etc. So you know, I will explain you each and everything. And inter.img, lib, proc, and tmp, where, and boot, dev, f1, home, and all these are there. So mainly I'm speaking about home directory now. So by default, if you install Linux, by default this root exists, this root directory exists by default. Okay, so under this root directory all these files will be there. So I am talking about home directory here. So in the home directory, for suppose if you see here cd home, once I get into home, I see only two users. I see only, okay, I think you don't see yet. Yeah, you see only two folders has been created. One is admin and one is user, because there are only two users can able to log into it. If I want, I can add another user with his username, and I can give password to him so that he also could log in. So once I do that, automatically another user will get created here. Okay, so how to create a user? USRADD, say Pawan. So okay, so this is not the one, so user add Pawan. Okay, you see here permission denied, because cannot you know, just because of the permissions it's not giving anything, because I am not a root user or something like that. So that's why it is not allowing me to create. But okay, we have another way to do it. Sudo add user Pawan. So sudo add user Pawan. So if I would like to use sudo, that means it needs a password, admin at 123. So add user command is not found. Add user command not found. I think add user. Yeah, if you see here, sudo add user, adding user Pawan, adding new group Pawan, and so the group will be this one, and adding new user Pawan 1002 with group name Pawan, creating home directory. It is creating a home directory for this user Pawan. Okay, so I have to give a password for it. So just I'm giving some password, some random password. So, and again I have to retype it. Full name, if you want to give it, you can give. And so these are all the information. If you want, you can give, no problem. If you don't give also, no problem for me. And finally ls. If you see here, before it was only two users, admin and user. Now Pawan is also get created. For suppose if you create one more user, one more user get created here. So that's how by default root will be there and all the files will be there. Under the etc you can see some OS file information, and under home, for each and every user one home directory will get created. Okay, so that means under home directory a separate user directory will be created. Okay, this separate directory is called user home directory. So whatever the directory has been created here, these are all home directories of the users. Okay, these are all home directory of the users. For suppose if I am admin, so that's why my parent directory will be this one. I mean my home directory will be slash home slash Pawan. Okay, if I logged in with Kalyan, my home directory will be slash home slash Kalyan. Okay, okay. Now what is, so you were saying this as a root directory, then what is this root? What is this root? Slash is the root of Linux file system. So slash is the root of Linux file system, whereas root is the subdirectory present in this root directory. Okay, actually if any root user logged in, I mean who is called super user, so what is the home directory for that user? This root is the home directory for the root user. For suppose if Pawan logs in, what is his home directory? Slash home slash Pawan. If admin logs in, what is his home directory? Slash home slash admin. So the same way, for suppose any root user logged in, so what is his home directory? Slash root. Slash root is his home directory. Okay. So actually in Linux there are two kinds of in Linux there will be two types of users. One will be there are two types of users. Two types of users. One will be normal user and the second one will be super user. So normal user means he has he has limited access, but whereas super user will have all the, and he can control the Linux system. So what will be the root user's home directory? Slash root. Okay. For suppose I logged in with admin. Okay, I would like to for suppose I have okay, so I would like to see what is my username or so. So it will if you want to display your user information, just your command called who am I. So I have logged in with admin, so that's why it is displaying admin. Okay, pwd means it will show you the current working directory, and who am I means it will display your username information. So what is this dollar called? What is this dollar called? This dollar is nothing but your shell. I told you, right? You have shell is the interpreter between user application and your kernel. So this is nothing but your, for suppose I am with admin. Okay, I logged in with admin. For suppose if I would like to switch, okay, switch to I have Pawan. Okay, okay, Control L, sudo -Pawan. Okay, so the command will be su Pawan. So switch user Pawan. So I have given one random password. Now who am I? So now I am with Pawan. Okay, so what is my home directory? What is my current cd? Cd means I will go into my pwd. What is my home directory? Now ls. What is my pwd. What is my home directory? Slash home slash Pawan. So who am I? And this is Pawan, and pwd is this one. I would like to log out from it, just put exit, you can come to your back. So now who am I? Admin, and if you put this one, you will go to your home directory. And what is your current directory? pwd, your current home directory is /home/admin. Okay, so for suppose if you want to access this mission like super user, so the command is su-i. Okay, if you want to switch to super user, it will be su hyphen. So you have, I think this is the one. Yeah, I am with root. I am with root user, which is super user. So cd and pwd, and what is my directory? /root. And once you log into super use, once you log in as a super user, this $sign will get converted into hash. This $sign will get converted into hash. Okay, cd ls. Okay, I am so there are no things, and okay, so this is the super user thing. And just I have again logged out from the super user, and again I get back to admin. Now okay, just I will stop here for today. It's been a long session, so I will continue this session tomorrow, continuation. So let me know if you have any questions on this session. Okay, that's fine. I hope you understand all the concepts or comments whatever I have shared with you till now. I hope you guys you guys have some knowledge after this session. Okay, if you need any information or if you need any online classes, you can reach us through email info@networkerstream.in, or you can follow us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/networkerstream. Yes, if possible, if you want, no problem. If you don't like it, you don't need to do anything. If you like it, you can subscribe this channel, so that I'm going to make some more videos about networking and OSI layers and current technologies, Python and Ansible. These kind of technologies I'm going to um, uh, conduct multiple classes, and I will share it with you guys. So if you want, just subscribe, and if you want, just leave us a comment. If I would like to get more feedback from you, so that if I need to change anything, I could do that. And yes, and all. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.